Hello everybody, John here. Today we are playing a Kerbal Space Program. We're just going to be, essentially a documentation of my struggles of trying to understand rocket science. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna, I got like a new setup, so now I can see OBS and my screen on a different screen. It's much better. Anyway, let's get started. Can you see my mouse? Okay, anyway. It is. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. We're gonna go inside. I've been playing around with it a bit. I've even nearly made it to Mun. Or Moon. I don't know how you're gonna pronounce it, but I nearly made it. But I missed. Anyway, now I'm just gonna do this because I decided, well, it'd probably be easier to learn the game's mechanics if I followed the training missions. Anyway, in our last tutorial, we built a vessel that could escape the atmosphere, but it didn't have enough oomph to escape for long. That is correct. This time around, we'll cover more advanced rocket designs, concepts, like multiple stages and boosters, as well as the extra parts like RCS and solar panels. You'll want these if you want to spend a few more minutes in orbit. More than a few minutes in orbit. Sorry, I read that wrong. Okay. When we're done, you'll have a craft capable of ascent to orbit, orbital operations, and a safe return to Kerbal. And you can test it out in the Go for Orbit tutorial, which will teach you how to make use of it all. Okay. You'll notice that there are lots more parts available this time. That's because the orbit-capable craft is much more complex than that little puddle jumper I showed you how to make last time. However, the main principles are the same, so I hope you remember what I taught you. If you mess up and say somehow manage to delete your whole... Okay, so Control Z, undo your last change. That's helpful. It's gonna be like blurry for you guys. I'm sorry. I've been trying to see what's wrong with my OBS, but I just can't figure it out. Anyway, again, you only have one pod available, so go ahead and select it. Go to the MK pod. Okay, you can go with it. This time, add a parachute. So we're gonna go to utility, got a parachute, put you up here. Now, just parameters, and just like again, we're gonna adjust the parachute. So go here, and it's gonna want to go to here. Okay. We're going to construct an upper stage. This upper stage will finish placing the pod in orbit, and once there, RCS steering thrusters and electricity for the pod. It'll also provide all maneuvering capability in orbit, including the re-entry burn. It's going to consist of a decoupler, we don't want to carry it home, an RCS fuel tank, a liquid fuel tank, 4 RCS thrusters, 4 solar panels, 4 batteries, and an efficient upper stage engine. That's quite the shopping list, isn't it? So let me know when you're ready to proceed. Sorry. I'm choking on something, I don't know what. Firstly, we will add a stack coupler below the pod. So, couplers real quick, coupling. So we're gonna add a stack decoupler below the pod to let us discard the parts we don't want to bring back with us. Grab the coupler from the toolbox and attach it to the pod. Okay, that's easy enough. And attach to, paying close attention so that the little red arrows, they're pointing up as we discussed before. Point up to make sure that the decoupler is oriented the right way. If the arrows are pointing down, that's not good. Detach it from the pod, then use WASD to rotate it the right way up and then reattach it. Okay. RCS tank. Where is that gonna, tanks, okay. Fuel tanks? Or just tank? I'm assuming it's fuel tanks. Right? It's this right here. Go to the tank, coupler. Okay. Your craft is not going to need all the monopropellant in the tank, so to save some weight, right click to get to the port options and move the slider down to 96 units. Alright. Monopropellant is called that because, well, large rocket engines use 2 propellants, fuel and oxidizer. RCS uses a single propellant. RCS is generally less efficient, but is good for small velocity changes in any direction, rather than just forwards like the mains engines do. Why is that I capitalized? It's weird. And can be used to rotate the craft as well as move it. We'll be adding multiple liquid fuel tanks in this stage to get the right amount for the upper stage engine, and we need an extra tank to offset the weight of the RCS. So add a tiny rocket propellant tank. It's the one named FLT-100. So it's this one. And then, okay, so medium, so 400. That's a lot of stuff. Lastly, for the main parts of this upper engine, we'll add an engine. The Terrier engine produces almost no thrust at sea level air pressure, but is highly efficient in space and above 20 kilometers, where the atmosphere is thin enough to not interfere with the exhaust. This makes it a good choice for upper stage, since the rocket will not be activated until the rocket has reached conditions where this kind of engine will work. If you select the wrong engine, you can always throw it away and try again. So, Terrier engine? So, Terrier. Okay. As you're done, that's a pretty well assembled upper stage, if I do say so myself. I'll get you to orbit if you put enough rocket under it. While we have this reasonably simple vessel here, let's explore one of the other useful tools we have available. Sorry, my reading voice is to make sure that your ship flies controllably, some parts need to be placed carefully around a point inside the ship called center of mass. This column is a spot, center of mass. Yeah. This center of mass is a spot where the mass of one on one side is balanced by the mass on the other. Thrust applied through the column will cause the ship to move without unwanted rotation, while thrust properly applied around the center of mass will cause the ship to rotate without moving. This makes the column such a useful and important thing that we added a tool so the assembly building can show it to you with a marker. Let's have a look at how that indicator works. Click on the column indicator toggle and we'll have a play. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my reading voice is just dying. Here's a picture of it with the indicator highlighted. So it's that boy. Alright, there it is, center of mass. Okay. Let's adjust the fuel levels in some of the tanks and see how it affects the center of mass. Right click on each of the fuel tanks and drag the fuel oxidized propellants down to 0. So, I'm assuming. Just gonna... no. It won't be burnt by the engine. As you're doing this, you will see the center of mass move in the same way as it burns out. Those things are empty. So, wait, if I put these back, was I supposed to do this one? No, not the monopropellant. Okay, so we were right. No, I'm not. Okay, whatever. Do that. Touch monopropellant, burn. Okay, next. Now what? Okay, can I put it back? Thank you. No, not the monopropellant, just you. Now it's not getting affected at all. I think I must have done something. No. So, maybe if I... Nope. Oh, what's that do? Okay. Take out the liquid fuel. So yeah, that moves up there. And like, this is... Trying to figure out what that does. So, sir, what am I meant to do now? Next, please. I've been watching the center of mass for a good while now. Okay. Okay, so maybe don't do it instantly. Maybe like take down notch by notch. Yes, I am observing. Look at this great observation, everybody. This is just supreme observation. Let me... Come on, Werner von Kerman. Let me do this thing. Okay. Maybe if we turn this off. No. Okay. Why are we spending more time on the tutorial than actually on the thing. Okay, now if I click on this, no.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. Alright, everybody, so I was fooling around with it and I figured it out. I didn't let me put my mouse back. Sorry, I'm not used to a double monitor setup yet. But anyway, I wasn't doing the top one. This one right here. 28, yeah, there, boom, nice and good. Now go ahead and refill them. So we're just gonna put everything back. Let's do that and do that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read that. Sorry, guys. Now that you know where the center of mass is when the stage is full and when it is empty, that's gonna bother me if I don't get rid of that. You need to place the RCS thrusters. RCS thrusters are found in the command and control category. That's gonna be right here, and that's this. So where is it? Come here. Okay, never mind then. Moving the spaceship without rotating is called translation. This is a useful kind of maneuver for several reasons, including docking to another craft. In order for translation with RCS to avoid unwanted rotation, you need to balance the thrusters around the center of mass. So let's get the center of mass real quick. You need... Sorry, so the net sum of forces is balanced right on this natural pivot point. Two equal sets of thrusters. Oh, sorry, my microphone just came off. Two equal sets of thrusters. Each set should be sorry, guys, I have never seen that word before. Equidistant from the center of mass. And for a single set, what we're doing here, they should be around the center of mass itself. What makes this complicated is that the center of mass changes during the flight, as you just saw. So you need to place the thrusters at a compromise point between the wet center of mass and the dry center of mass. So probably right here, since that's like kind of in the middle of where the center of mass is going to be. So yeah, the center of mass goes to like here. So we'll put it right there. Note that in career mode games, RCS thrusters don't become available until fairly late. In the meantime, the reaction wheel capability built into your command pod will probably be enough for turning into space. The reaction wheels will not allow you to translate. Oh no, cat's in here. Okay, let's turn on angle snap to make aligning. Okay, angle snap. There we go. Do that to make aligning the thruster parts easier. Do that by clicking on the toggle icon in the lower left or pressing C key. Ensure that we have 4 symmetry. So symmetry is gonna be 4, and we place that boy around right here. The tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place to attach these, just in case you need it. So tiny rocket propellant tank, probably like right here. Yeah. You don't need to get the placement quite right. You can also use, if you don't get the placement quite right, you can also use the offset gizmo to fine tune the position. Make sure you turn on angle snap before using the offset. You will want fine adjustments for that, and with snap turned on, the adjustments are anything but fine. Click the offset mode icon in the upper left of the main editor window, just to the right of the parts list. So main editor is gonna be what, that. So then click on the RCS parts, drag one of the axis indicators to move it. If you want to reset this adjustment in space, when done, go back to place mode. Okay. Okay, switch. Now I want to go here and do something. Didn't I want to like... what was I doing? Okay, we put that there, and we switch editor, because I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest. Okay. Lots of things on a craft use electric charge, you see. That's what all school scientists call rocket electricity, and wow, we're spending like the entire video on this tutorial. In order to keep your batteries topped up, you will need a way of generating power. Now some engines generate electricity while they're running. but you don't want to keep your engine running in orbit. Your orbit will get all kinds of messed up and you'll run off propellant. Our command pod has some batteries built into it, but to be safe, you can add more batteries and you can add solar panels or other electricity generating items. We're going to do both. Let's do the electrical category. You know, I'm sure we still have the angle snap band. That, okay, yeah, and that's right. Yeah, okay. And you're still in 4x signature mode. We will use our rotational skills to adjust that, and, okay. Just the panels. So we're just gonna, yeah. Grab the, solar panel, hold it over the lower end of the fuel tank. There we go. And press A to rotate it 90 degrees. Oh, okay, and boom. Now go ahead and place a set of, set of 4 is it between the solar panels. So I'm just gonna, there we go. I did it, I think. I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Fuel tank. So let me put that there and then delete this. There we go, I did it! Yeah! Excellent work, you've built a nice starter upper stage, which will do well for some orbital exploration. Now we need to work on getting it up to orbit, and for that we'll build up our lower stage. In comparison to the upper stage, it's quite simple. Just a couple of tanks and an engine. That won't be enough alone, however, we'll need some boosters too. Add another coupler. I'm gonna need to move you up, won't I? Okay. The bottom of the Terrier, so coupler, that's gonna be here. Decoupler, I mean. No, click the wrong button. Stack decoupler. Never mind, it's this one. You gonna let me do it? You gonna let me do it? That doesn't look like you're letting me do it. Bottom of the Terrier. Need this during our ascent to discard the parts of the vessel. Oh, notice how when you add the coupler, a fairing is placed around the engine. This will get jettisoned automatically when we stage the coupler. So do I need to like do this and then this? Oh, I think I do. Wait, do I? It wants me to use the stack decoupler. Oh wait, TD12. Oh, okay, I'm stupid. Never mind. Never mind, guys. I am just legit stupid. Okay. Now we need to add the fuel tanks for our lower stages. And wow, we spent the entire video on this tutorial. Add to the medium rocket propellants. So, oh, fuel tanks. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. So, boom and boom. For our lower stage, we need an engine that is a sustainer. That's an engine that burns from liftoff up until well after the boosters separate. Let's get scientific for a second. Rocket engine performance is measured by specific impulse, or ISP. What's the P? ISP, specific impulse. Wait. Whatever. And the ISP of an engine changes as the amount of atmospheric pressure around it changes. Just as the upper stage needed an engine that is good at the low air pressures of high altitudes, the lower stage will need boosters which are powerful at the higher air pressure, low altitude of the launch pad, and to help carry the rocket through the transition from launch to upper stage, it will need a sustainer engine, which usually sits between boosters and upper stage engines. From a performance perspective, having a wide range in between the two. So, add the big engine. Let's see. Okay, so the swivel. Sorry, I keep forgetting how to talk, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, swivel. Default is too powerful for the rocket we're creating, and for the some profile, we're going to teach you how to go for orbit. So you'll need to lower its thrust level. This isn't good solution as picking a smaller, lighter engine with the thrust level we want, but well, there are only so many options. Right click the swivel. Okay, so thrust limiter is 65. There we go. It will then only produce 65 its full thrust potential, but it will also run longer because it's only 65 fuel. Okay, nice. You have. Oh wow, we're 20 minutes in. We just got through this. Nice. You've not completed the core of your rocket completed, but as I said before, we'll also be adding boosters to help the sustainer engine to get to the rocket up and running. We'll add 2 boosters symmetrically so that we keep our craft balanced. And to make sure we don't lug the useless dry mass of boosters around after we burn out, we'll attach using couplers. This time, however, we'll use radial decouplers, radial, oh my god. So the boosters can sit between our lower stage core instead of under it. That way, the sustainer and boosters can be fired at the same time. Select the TK something another. Where's the decoupler? 38. Yes. Add it near the bottom of the lowest tank. So, like that. Yeah. Right? And they said I did it right. Mower boosters is something you often hear around KSC, and now it's time to add some. RT10 hammer. Alright. Ah, I see. Okay, so that's what those are for. Interesting, interesting. Unlike liquid fuel, oh wow, this video is getting so long. Unlike liquid fuel engines, where you can adjust the throttle during flight, once you light an SRB, sorry guys, I put my glasses on my nose. Once you light an SRB, it burns at constant thrust until it's out of fuel. We can, however, use the throttle limiter, as we did on the swivel, to set at that constant thrust before we roll out to the launch pad. Right click on the SRB, one of the SRBs, and limiter to 50. Woo! 50. Come on, we gotta get to perfect 50. Perfect 50. Yeah! And one of the SRBs do know that changing a Kerbal value one part. Oh, so when it's in symmetry, it'll okay. That's so useful. Ah, I see. Right, now we have the SRB. Now the SRBs have flat and like, okay. Alright, sorry about that. Okay. Right now we have an SRB's flat pancake tops, which is simply not a good look. Oh, and bad aerodynamically. Let's fix that with a pair of nose cones. Okay. It's gonna be aerodynamics. Nose cone. Hey! While you're on the tab, it blocks will add some fins too. Fins come in various sizes and styles, as we learned earlier, and will help stabilize your craft. Okay. 4 times symmetry. Bottom of the lowest fuel tank. What? Oh, in the lowest stage. So, like here. Go back to 4. Thank you. It reverts it to 4. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Hey! Bottom of the lowest stage. So, like... there. Oh, okay. Here. Or not. Okay. Here. No. Where did they go? Where did they go? The bottom stage. I guess I'm dumb. Okay. Why are they going through it? Okay, that's weird. Anyway, I'm just gonna end the video, guys. Here's somewhat of an advanced rocket. It might work, it might not. I don't know. Bye.